In this word problem, it states that in 1992, the cost of tuition at a large Midwestern university was $119 per credit hour. In 1998, tuition had risen to $197 per credit hour. Part A says determine a linear equation to represent the cost C of tuition as a function of X, the number of years since 1990. Okay, so in this word problem, they've given us a lot of information here. They've actually given us the variables. Let's just rewrite the declaration. Let's declare each of these variables that are given to us. The input variable is X, and one of your hints was that it said a function of X. So X is the input variable, and it represents the number of years since 1990. And it's going to be important for us to keep track of that 1990. So it's the number of years since 1990. That's our input variable. Our output variable is C, capital C, which represents the cost of tuition. So now we want to build a linear equation that relates cost with X, the number of years since 1990. So let's see what we are given. We know some information that was given in our word problem is that in 1992, the cost of tuition was $119 per credit hour, while in 1998, the tuition had risen, so the cost of tuition was $197 per credit hour. That to me sounds like two order pairs on my line, right? Because these are linear equations. That means that if I was going to graph my equation once I'm done composing it, that I would have a straight line. And it looks like these are order pairs. 1992 is a year. So now our order pairs are XC, and we have two of those, don't we? Matter of fact, I'm going to call them X1C1 and X2C2 because we have two of them. Now again, here's the thing. X represents the number of years since 1990. So even though I really want to put that 1992 in green up there as part of my order pair, that's not what X is measuring, isn't it? How many years since 1990 is the year 1992? It's 2 years, so we're going to write 2 here for X. And what's the cost per credit hour? It's 119. Okay, our next order pair, we are keeping track of the year 1998. So how many years is that since 1990? X is 8, and the cost had risen to $197 per credit hour. So I'm going to remind myself here that this cost of tuition is being measured in dollars per credit hour. I may need that for later. Those are the units of cost. Okay, we'll keep track of that there. Okay, so we need to find the slope of this line that we're trying to build. And since we're given two order pairs, we can use our slope formula. So M equals, we're going to go 197 minus 119. So the difference of our outputs, which are measuring cost, that goes in the numerator. And then difference of our years, of our x's, goes in the denominator, 8 minus 2. And so here we get 78 divided by 6, which is 13. So our slope is 13. Okay, I'm cool with that. So here's what we have so far. M equals 13. Now we need to find our line, our linear equation, and when we are given the slope and we have order pairs, we can use point slope form. So we're going to use our point slope form here. And we get to choose whether we use 2, 119 or 8, 197. I'll use the smaller numbers. So C, now normally we put Y there, but remember our output variable is C. So C minus 119 equals M times X minus X1, which is 2. So that's our point slope form, just to remind you of what we're using. Okay, and now let's just distribute and combine so we can put this in slope-intercept form. So that means we're going to distribute the 13 and then add the 119 over. So we get C minus 119 equals 13x minus 26. And then adding 119, we get 13x plus 93. So there is our equation. Okay, now it says, what will the cost of tuition be in the year 2002? Which means, what's our x there? So we have an equation, but x, remember, x is being measured from the year 1990. So we're going to have to do a subtraction there, right? It'll be 2002 minus 1990 to find our x value here, which is 12. So now let's substitute 12 into our equation to get the cost. So we get C equals 13 times 12 plus 93. And this is 156 plus 93. And this is C equals 249. So now we need a conclusion statement. What did we just find? Well, we found that the cost of tuition in the year 2002 will be $249 per credit hour. Make sure that when you write your conclusion statement, you include the appropriate units. Okay, the last part here says, in what year will the cost of tuition be $366 per credit hour? Okay, so there's our equation. I rewrote it. And in what year means we're looking for x when the cost is 366. So we're going to do a little substitution here. 366 equals 13x plus 93, and then we're going to isolate the x. So we're going to subtract 93, do 73, and then we're going to divide by that 13, which gives us 21. And so what year is that? What's the conclusion statement? Remember that x was measuring the years from the year 1990? So we need to add 1990 to this 21 and write our conclusion statement. So the conclusion statement, the cost of tuition will be $366 per credit hour in the year 2011.